Christian Horner. You guys have heard me for the longest time say if there were a team principal on the grid currently in 2024 May of that I were going to go into the trenches with, whose life I needed to put in my hands and mine in theirs, that of course would be Christian Horner. I think he's God tier. Nothing sticks with Horner, team principal of Red Bull. You'll remember in 2021 Abu Dhabi, but for that championship that they won under very polemic circumstances, Christian Horner would have lost his job. He pulled an escape manoeuvre that Harry Houdini would have been proud of. That, for the avoidance of doubt, is Christian Horner's nickname even, Harry Houdini. Nothing bloody sticks on that chap. Matter of fact, pioneer, leadership skills to die for. Toto Wolff would be jealous of him. So ironclad are his characteristics as a leader, a pioneer. So much do that team rally around him even. Nothing sticks on that chap. And then you get the allegations. At the start of this season, rumour and speculation that a PA had inappropriate relationships with the Red Bull team principal, but yet again he escapes. Harry Houdini settings, nothing sticks on that fella. Erstwhile I predicted that he wasn't going anywhere. I don't care how accurate, false or true that these allegations were. Christian Horner was not moving, Steve A. Wasn't going anywhere. Nothing sticks on that chap. If I'm going to be in the trenches with somebody, if I need somebody to get something done, get us over the line, then he is the team principal that I am choosing each and every single time. But sometimes, if you're talking about dynasties falling, and that's what Jos Verstappen has been alluding to all the while, they don't happen as you think they might happen. The falling of the empire isn't obvious sometimes. Now Adrian Newey's left. Who saw that one coming? I thought Christian Horner and Adrian Newey were going to go off into the sunset together, that they would retire together at the same bloody time. So close are they as people and employees, colleagues. Christian Horner signed Adrian Newey as one of his first hires back in 2005 when Red Bull took over from Jaguar. Adrian Newey, though, now is gone. As predicted, Jos Verstappen, the empire that is the Bulls that are red, is crumbling before our eyes, Jomo. What are we doing here? Who knew? Who knew that the reign of dominance was going to be challenged so soon? Not me. I thought that the RB20 was going to be dominant, just as dominant even as the RB19. What are we doing then? How has Christian Horner found himself in this circumstance where even speculation and rumour is suggesting that Max Verstappen may be looking at pastures anew too? What? Max Verstappen as well? He's Red Bull's poster boy. What are we doing? Why would he even think of leaving Red Bull whilst he has such dominant machinery underneath him? This makes no sense. But yet and still, here we are in May of 2024. It feels like the empire that is the Bulls that are red, Christian Horner's empire, the empire that he built, is crumbling one brick at a time. And this is chaos. Rumour and speculation is that Christian Horner is on the brink of signing Checo Perez. Now, up until now, Checo Perez has differed as far as his trajectory. He wanted a multi-year contract. Red Bull would not give him that. Now, however, the rumour is, as at May 2024, is that they have reached a deal. There's been a compromise. Checo Perez will have his contract extended through to the end of next year now, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is chaos. Ostensibly, as I look at it, I feel like this might be the nail in Christian Horner's coffin. Bear with me, I will explain. Why is Christian Horner even signing Checo Perez? Because each and every single year up until now, they get to the Monaco Grand Prix and they hold the new contract extension in front of Checo Perez as if it's a carrot. They don't trust him to be consistent in terms of his performance and his delivery, lest they sign him up. So they use it. Listen, keep performing well, keep up that consistency, Checo Perez, and we will extend you. They dangle it in front of him as if he is a hamster in a wheel. And that's techie, isn't it? I don't like it, but I understand. Because Checo Perez, as far as his performance, has been checkered, right? Inconsistent, if anything. And I think this is where it gets techie, because if I'm team principal of Red Bull as at May 2024, you think I'm signing Checo Perez? You're having a laugh visual. Perez should have as long as he wants if he drops 10k. See, this is the talk visual. He doesn't even look match fit. How? Where is the evidence to give that dude a contract extension, particularly if we're talking a multi-year contract? There is none. So why would Christian Horner give him that? Well, here's my speculation and conjecture incoming. Scorched Earth Cameron, here's what I think. There are two Red Bull drivers, and there have always been two, but they responded to the allegations around Christian Horner's sexual indiscretions very differently. Only one of those drivers came out and backed their team principal in a manner in front of the world press and media that was unequivocal. One of those drivers said, Christian Horner is my team principal and I support him unequivocally. I think these rumours are false. Only one of those drivers said that. That driver has a name, and his name is Sergio Checo Perez. Ergo, Christian Horner is nothing if not loyal. For all of his foibles, warts and all, he will repay a debt of gratitude. Just like the Lannisters on Game of Thrones, a Christian Horner always pays his debts. If I'm conjecturing and speculating, then I say that this is Christian Horner extending Checo Perez's contract, paying back that debt of gratitude that when he was most in need, when he needed his team to rally around him and back him unequivocally, whilst the whirlwind of the allegations was going on, Checo Perez was the only one to do it. Christian Horner therefore owes Checo Perez this. That's not to say that this is based upon any sort of performance. You can't make a substantive claim that Checo Perez, courtesy of his performance season to date, is owed this. Oh, on the contrary. And this is where we get techie chat, because this is chaos. Checo Perez does not deserve a new contract. We've spoken about it ad infinitum. Just look at him. Does he look match fit to you? I know people have talked about the minimum weight, but that matters not in this conversation. You need to be match fit, surely, to get the best out of yourself. Minimum weight or no minimum weight, surely. Compare and contrast how Checo Perez looks as versus his teammate Max Verstappen. Gaunt in the face. You can see Max's jawline each and every single time. Not so with Checo Perez. Let's look at if that parlays to performance, because there have been sports stars that didn't need to lose no weight. Mention no names, Babe Ruth as an example. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you're that good. Checo Perez, for the avoidance doubt, is not that good. How's he performed season to date, chat? You guys tell me. How's he done? Because I'll give you this statistic. 28 times Logan Sargent has been out-qualified by his Williams teammate Alex Albon. 4 of those 28 showings, 4 of the 28 times that Logan Sargent has entered a qualifying session, he's out-qualified Checo Perez in the RB20. What are we doing? How can Checo Perez claim that he's been performing where he needs to be? And yet he's been out-qualified 4 times, not once, 4 times by Logan Sargent in a Williams. What are we doing? This is nonsense. You cannot tolerate this. Red Bull are here. Excellence always. Max Verstappen, Christian Horner, Hannah Schmidt, Adrian Newey formerly. You cannot tell me that Checo Perez, with that material underperformance, isn't an odd one out in this Red Bull equation. It is nonsense. Can't have it. Look at Miami. Look at Imola. What is he doing in turn one? How could that even be a thing? He damn near took out Max Verstappen, his teammate. This looked like Hungary 2021 and Valtteri Bottas. You're telling me that's acceptable? Christian, you're telling me that that's the dude whose contract you're going to renew for an extra couple of years? Checo Perez didn't even get out of Q1 at Monaco. What are we doing here, Jay? This is bonkers. How could not Q2? Not Q2, Q1. Checo Perez didn't even make it. And I know they had problems setting that car up this weekend past. I know it was difficult. Max Verstappen's error at turn one was testament to that. But there is a difference in levels of underperformance, right? Checo Perez, for the avoidance of that, didn't even make it out of Q1. What are we doing? Checo Perez then, chat, may well cost one Christian Horner his job, not just due to his underperformance, but the extent of it. At the moment, he's a sore thumb, right? Stands out a bloody mile, and it's not acceptable, Chris. Checo. Chris, he's absolutely gonna destroy Christian Horner. How can he not? I can't believe this is a blind spot as far as Christian Horner's field of vision. But again, sometimes you've just got to pay back a debt, right? Christian Horner, like the Lannisters of Game of Thrones, to a fault now with Checo Perez's contract extension, will always pay his debts. Endearing. That's absolutely commendable. It's a redeeming feature as a person, but as a team principle, as a man who is paid millions of pounds each and every single year to deliver silverware, championships, both drivers and constructors, for the balls that are red and for his drivers, this is a massive faux pas. Christian Horner, for the avoidance doubt, has escaped scotch-free the allegations. He was about to be sacked in 2021, and again, an act of God saved his job. However, it's not always the obvious ones that cause the first crumble as far as the downfall of these empires. Checo Perez, from Christian Horner's standpoint, is the enemy within. He could be responsible for the downfall of the bulls that are red, if indeed McLaren and Ferrari et al. Are converging upon them. You cannot afford to have a dude in that car who cannot get out of Q1. What are we doing, Steve? This is nonsense. But for the avoidance of doubt, the prosecution rests. No further questions, Your